back again with another beautiful day of stacking sats. You already know what the model is. This is our daily Bitcoin DCA because USD just ain't the way. It's currently September 22nd, 2025. We are at block height 915,918. Oh, somebody just saw the block. New block just hit on the clock. 915,919. The last block was found by AGO. But anyways, one Bitcoin will currently run you $112,350-ish dollars, and one USD will currently get you 890 sats. If we take a look over at our hash rate, down a little bit in 24-hour time period, but still over 1,000. Looking good. Difficulty adjustment still target of 10 minutes, still looking good. The system is still running good. Fee rates are low. Great time to consolidate them UTXOs and have good UTXO management. Still sitting over 2.2 trillion for a market cap. Supply still coming out every 10 minutes like it's supposed to. Everything's still running smooth, so no need to panic about nothing. If we take a look over at our Z-score, 2.26, we still in the twos, still trying to make a decision. I feel like something's going to happen soon. We either going to run up, we're going to run down, but I feel like we've been consolidating now for quite a bit, that it's time to make a move, and I'll show you guys what I mean when we look at the technicals over on Bitcoin here in a minute. If we take a look at our floor price, slowly climbing up, that's what we want. We want the network to be running smooth. We want our floor to keep rising, and we want to keep stacking as many sats as we can in the process. So this is going up a little bit. If we take a look at some technicals, if we take a look at Bitcoin's chart, as we can see, we've taken a little dip. So since I've started doing this project, we finally hit the lowest since I've been doing this, in a little about 2 weeks. Before we got as low as 114,000, now we're at 112,000. So it's looking like we're trying to come back down and test this green line right here, which is the 20 EMA, and potentially touch the 50 EMA as well, like it has previously. So we'll see. Like I said, time will tell. But what I wanted to show you guys is, as you can see, when we consolidate like how we have, and Bitcoin fluctuates. So we've hit a high of the 120,000s, and we've hit a low of about 108, 109,000 or so in this period right here. So each one of these candles is a week, so every 4 is a month. So this block from this line that goes straight up and down, this is about a 3-month period or so. So as you can see, if we go back previously, and I went out, let's go back 5 years just to take a nice little peek at 5 years. As you can see, when we do consolidate for that time period, we start to break either to the upside or to the downside. So that's why I said it's time for it to make a move. It's gonna pick a direction, and we'll just keep doing the same thing along the way. Like I said, up, down. If you do the knowledge, you do the homework, if you have faith in Bitcoin, not necessarily even faith, if you have the knowledge in Bitcoin and know what the problem is with the current system, you should want price to dip, to drop, because as you continue to make dollars or whatever your currency is based on where you're watching this from, you want to exchange those into Bitcoin, and you want to exchange them for as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. So even if you're currently holding Bitcoin, you still want to keep accumulating as much as you can. You want to accumulate when the price is low. That's like you getting a discount. So imagine, some of your favorite shoes were coming out, just as an example. And if you were to go buy them today, and let's say you didn't put them on, and then all of a sudden they went on sale next week for, 10%, 15%, you would probably take them back, get your money back, and buy them at the discount rate. And then if you bought them again and the next day they went, you would just keep doing, you would keep taking them back and getting that better deal that you potentially can. So as the price continues to drop, when it does drop, that's prime time for you to buy, so you can try to accumulate as many Bitcoin as you can from whatever currency you currently have, because all currencies are going to zero. So you can look, whatever your currency is, you can go into something like TradingView, compare whatever currency you want to compare in terms of Bitcoin, and you will see they're all falling to zero when it comes to comparing them to Bitcoin and gold as well, and a few other things. But if we take a look at BITI, this is the inverse. So like I said, when Bitcoin price falls, BITI rises in price and value. So now BITI is having a little run up because Bitcoin is having a little pullback. If we go take a look at what's been accumulated, if I bring up the buys, so here was today's buy. I got in at $112,900. This is how much Bitcoin I was able to accumulate off of 99 cents. One fee went to Coinbase. This is the total account balance. This is how much Bitcoin is held in the account. This is the value in terms of USD. And then if we take a look at BITI, I forgot today was Monday, so I was supposed to do a buy of $3, but I did one, and then when I remembered, I went back and bought two more to make the total of $3 buy. And just as you figured, this account is up a little bit because Bitcoin price is pulling back, so that means this is rising. So it's kind of like a hedge, and this is what a lot of professional option traders and even people who just invest in the stock market, they have a hedge against their position, especially when you're talking, big money. People are always hedging out there. So this is, kind of my own little hedge for this challenge. But at the end of the day, it's all funneling into Bitcoin at the end of the day. So this is how much was purchased today. And this is what the balance is looking like we just seen. The current value is down a little bit compared to the amount completely deposited. And as we can see here, this was the only time so far during this challenge where the value was more than what was deposited so far. And this is now the new low. So maybe what I'll do is I'll mark every time we get a new low, I'll mark that with like a light red or something. So this has been our low, so that way we can just kind of see, and then we'll mark this one with green, like a light greenish. So far this has been the highest price Bitcoin has reached since doing this challenge, and this has been the lowest. So we've been fluctuating in almost 14 days between 112,000 and 117,000. So a $5,000 range that we've been pretty much trading at, or moving sideways in between that area in the past 2 weeks. As we can see, the Z score has been as low as 2.17 and as high as 2.34. And then the weekly RSI is pulling back a little bit. And then as we can see, our floor is just slowly marching up. So this is what we want to see. So if we go over and take a look at BITI, we already looked at the numbers over there. This is how much was purchased today, combining the three. It was a bigger, this is bigger than these ones because the market was open on these days. But if I would have been tracking on this Monday, it would have looked similar to this day as well. This is the total amount accumulated, almost up to a full share. And this is the value in USD terms. And then as you can see, it's up a little bit. And this is the price purchase at. And then we can see the RSI slowly climbing up. And that's that. So, like I said, the game plan is the same, and price is going to do what it does. But like I said, that's why you have to do the knowledge. You have to give yourself the conviction to understand why it is that you're buying into Bitcoin. You're leaving one system, getting out of one system and into a completely new system. You have to have the conviction to want to continue to stay in the system, and also continue to add and funnel what you make in one system out of that system into the new system to preserve your purchasing power, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's about what your dollars can buy you in the present moment. And if whatever it is that you're invested in, or whatever it is that you're storing your money in, is it gonna be able to accumulate enough for you to buy the things that you're able to buy today, based on when those things continue to keep rising up? Because we see that pay is not increasing. We see pay and real estate has a wide gap versus annual income versus what the median home price is. We see that CEO versus the workers' pay has a wide gap. We see the rich continue to keep getting richer, the poor continue to keep getting poorer, the middle class is slowly getting wiped out. Okay, we see all this stuff. We see unemployment rising at a high. We see debt rising at highs, credit card debts, defaults on mortgages. All these things are currently happening. So you have to get back to the drawing board, and you have to really evaluate in your life what's important, what's a want and what's a need. And you have to be very strict on your budget and the type of lifestyle that you live and what you want to aim for in the future. If you're constantly spending on wants and not just prioritizing your needs, then you'll constantly stay in that cycle and in that loop of having to trade your precious time to make these dollars that they're able to just print out of thin air. So keep doing the knowledge, keep doing the work, keep stacking up, stay focused, right? Because you're at war with your time, your energy, and with your money. So protect those three things as best as you can, and do whatever you can to get yourself slowly out of that rat race. And you do that by doing the opposite of what majority people are doing. Majority people's pay is going towards a car that they can't afford, a home that they can't afford, constantly eating out, entertainment, all these subscription services, all these things that we don't truly need. So stay focused, keep your eyes on the prize, and let's keep getting after this.